Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Farming Simulator 2019. Currently in the menu screen in the mods, working here on the PlayStation 4. Installing a few basics, the tractors, simple fertilizer spreader, and one of the old bale wrappers. I've already got some mods installed, such as these tractors here, this hay bale trailer, this flat trailer, etc., etc. We're going to be continuing on my farm. I've been working on this farm for 42 and a half hours, but don't expect too much. As you notice, my budget is money budget is not exactly high, although I am loan free. I have been investing pretty much everything I get right back into my farm while I've been experimenting and doing some tricks that I've learned. There are some interesting ways I've discovered to make some additional money through the contract work system. So I started this Farming Simulator 2019 on the Felsburn map. I started in the normal mode where you basically start out with field number 19, field number, let's see here, I'll get to it better. Nothing. Anyways, field number 19, field number 20, and you have an area here with a farmhouse and a silo and a basic shed, and you have a couple of crappy tractors and a very simple harvester and a small tipper trailer, and I believe that's about all you start with. I was learning as I went that I could sell pretty much everything. So you see, I no longer have a shed, I no longer have a house. I sold a lot of that stuff that was not really necessary to run the game. I had some doubts about when I sold the house. I got a lot of money for it, but in the end, there is an interesting feature I wasn't aware of at the time, that you can use your house to go to sleep and fast forward through the night. That is a nice feature, so as my funds increase, I'm sure I will continue to build that house. The other thought I had is I believe I'll be able to plow this gravel into dirt. I haven't actually tried yet, but if I can, I think I'm going to take this silo, sell it, and then reinstall it closer back by the road, so that I can take this farm area down here and expand it out even further than I have already. Veterans out there have probably already noticed that I have currently expanded and connected fields 20, 19, 18, and now just recently, finished last night, 17, getting these all connected. The next natural step will be to connect field number 9 to that, and this road here is actually just a dirt road, although I believe there's an annoying little building here that it may be possible to actually further connect field 9 right on over to field 8. Now this here is a paved road, so connecting in field 6 will not make sense. So my current kind of overall my farm business growth strategy is to get 8, 9, 17, 18, 19, and 20 all connected together, and once I get into here, I may or may not actually connect 8 onto here. Now back in here behind field 19 and 20, there is one small building and a whole bunch of trees, and you might think, oh yes, I would like to cut all these trees down and expand the farm out into there, but I'll take a quick drive over there, as it's not far away, and show you why that may not be the best idea. This here is actually one of the original tractors that they give you when you start on the normal mode in the game. For simple purposes, it does fine. I do recommend upgrading it to the 150 horsepower because the amount of horsepower it comes with is pretty dismal. Now, as you start the game, this up here is all pretty well full of trees, and I played for several in-game days before I finally came up here and chopped them all down. I probably have a few stumps left over. You also will notice that this log here, there's a lot of that laying around as deadfall. It is not a permanent feature. It's something that can be moved. You know, you can pick it up with some log forks and go sell it at the sawmill. This large trailer here is, you know, $26,000, and then the dolly is $9,000. So it's a simple, cheap way to transport large logs to the sawmill. However, I'm heavily considering abandoning that and going to a wood chips for anything that is basically below this road line, because to get up in here with that log trailer is pretty difficult. I got stuck in here for probably between a half an hour and an hour trying to get a log trailer up through here. The logs are too long hanging around the back. They're getting hung up in guardrails and these tight turns. I ended up having to dump and lose a bunch of logs, so I actually still have some logs scattered up through the road in here that I'm going to have to come up sometime later with something better to pick them up and get them up here to the sawmill. This road down here is really not any better. So I think if I do a tree farming operation, it's going to make a lot more sense to have that happen up in fields 1 through 5. For the moment, though, my main goal is to raise enough money to expand, as I said before, fields 8 through 20 into a very large field. I had been doing a lot of wheat farming, where you know, sow your wheat seeds in, you fertilize it a couple of times, you let it grow, you harvest, and then you leave all of your trails of straw behind that you can bale up and turn into hay bales and sell those hay bales. It is pretty lucrative, but man, does it take a long time to bale all that hay up. So the past couple harvests I've been going with soybeans. The prices on the soy have been fairly good. You know, I'm up around 2,429 right now in the grain mill. So I'm hoping that these prices stay high while I'm waiting for this soy to grow. And that should give me quite a bit of money. Don't know exactly how much, but should be good. The other thing that I have found that is interesting is I was watching MrSealyP, a little shout out to MrSealyP, his videos, and he was talking about crop or field flipping. And as soon as he said it, I was like, ooh, I already know what he's talking about, and that's an interesting idea. So when you go into the fields, which I didn't realize that when you sell the field, I figured you're going to take a loss for whatever, you know, usually you buy something for a price and then you sell it and you're not going to get as much back out of it. Well, at least currently, unless they patch it later, whatever you buy a field for, you know, for instance, this field costs $291,864. If I buy that, do some stuff on it, and then I later sell that field, I can get exactly what I bought it for right back. So where that becomes interesting, is you look around for, let's check the growth, right? So we're looking for something in the kind of the yellowish orange tint, you know, so like field 2, field 16, field 28 is ready to harvest. So now if I go down and I say, all right, well, what is sitting there? You know, field 28, it's a little hard for me to tell, but I think it may be oat, or is that barley? It's barley. So they've got a field of barley ready to harvest right there, right now. So and it's also quite handy that it's right next to my my farm. So what you can do is you can say, all right, well, let's see how much does that field cost. It's $107,000. If you don't have enough money, you can get a loan for it and pay the loan right back. So I'm going to go ahead and buy it. So buy it. Yep. Now in this case, I already have a harvester that's capable of harvesting barley. So I'm going to go ahead and get that puppy going. As you can see, I've been mentioning that I've been investing back into my farm. So this harvester and header combination is somewhere in the neighborhood of $350,000, $360,000 of investment. but especially when I was baling, just the extra width alone means that I had to run my baler across half as many strips of straw, so that was very, very helpful. So as you probably already gathered by now, so the basic premise of what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and harvest this all up. MrSealyP was taking it even a step further when he's earlier in his game, and he, oops, sorry, I have to unfold my harvester here. He would just simply do some gut calculations and say, you know, I think I can just lease the equipment. I don't even need to buy it, and I will harvest all of this out, and then I will return my leased equipment and sell what I harvested and sell the land back. So it's a little immoral, perhaps, but you know, hey, if you look at it in this way, maybe a guy he's selling his property. He doesn't have farm equipment. He doesn't have any way to really handle this crop. So you're actually doing him a favor by buying it and harvesting it and then selling it back to him. Yeah, whatever gets me to sleep at night, right? So in any case, you're gonna harvest this stuff. You're gonna sell it, and then you're gonna sell the land back, and you, for no investment in property, no seeding, no work, you're going to be able to reap the benefits of having this crop. Now, I haven't watched all of MrSealyP's videos, but I wanted to take that a step further. A slightly devious thought had occurred to me, is that, so, you know, what I could do next is I could, say, plant whatever it is I want to harvest, and then I could sell the property back and wait for it to grow, and then buy the property. And then I started thinking, well, hold the phone, let me take this one step further. What if, as soon as I'm done harvesting, I sell the property back, and then I look for a contract? I did this on field, I think it's field 9 last night. So you look for the contract, and it says cultivate the field. And if you had bought the property, you would be cultivating the field anyways, right? But if you sell the property back, you're effectively, albeit not getting paid much, a couple of $1,000s, you're getting paid by the property owner to cultivate the field, right? Stick with me, right? And then soon enough, you're going to get paid to fertilize the field. And then when it comes to harvest time and he says, oh, I'll give you $8,000 to harvest my field of grain, you say, no, I will buy your field from you, I will harvest your field, and then I will sell your harvest, and then I will sell your field back to you. So it's an interesting way, a workaround that probably will sooner enough get patched some way or another. My guess would be that your property sale value will be less when you sell it back eventually. But basically, it is a way that you can use the entire map of fields without ever really having to invest in the real estate itself. Now, this has a slight bummer of, you know, you're not going to be able to do all the fun stuff of connecting the fields and shaping the farm into what you really want it to be. But it's an interesting way, I think, where it could be early in the game to help you raise some funds a little bit more quickly than would be possible if you were to just go just with what you own and doing the contract works and the contracts. And I've heard from, you know, other videos, including MrSealyP, that, you know, you really don't make as much. You got spoiled in Farming Simulator 2017, where you know, make $25,000 plus a 50% speed bonus or something, right, for going through and doing some work on a field. But so in other words, you really don't make much on the contracts. So anyways, when the thought occurred to me, I tried it out last night, and it really does work. But I wanted to get that idea out there and share it, and you guys let me know what you think, and if you have any other ideas of let's call them some little exploits, take that a step further, see what you think, or what twists do you have on that idea that you would like to see me try, or you could go ahead and send a link to your video in the comments section of this, and I'll be happy to watch that, as well as everybody else that comes across this. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Bear with me, as this is really my first foray into doing these little demonstration videos. I'm a long-time watcher, first-time maker, you know, of these videos, and I finally decided, you know, when I have these ideas, why don't I make a demonstration video? It would be kind of fun to do, for one. If I get some revenue from it from YouTube, hey, wonderful. But I'm not exactly planning to quit my day job yet. I'm doing it for the fun, and I'm doing it to share ideas. And you know, what's this internet good for, anyways? Let's not use it just to yell at each other and scream about politics. Let's have fun and play video games together and share our ideas. And you can yell at me about these. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this field up and finish the brief demonstration of what I've had started. And it works well because this is quite a small field, and you're not going to have to watch me sit here and harvest for very long. Now you'll notice I'm not using a worker to do this field. And honestly, mostly is because it's such a small field, it's not going to take me much time to do it. And, you know, I like playing the game. It's not just a farming financial simulator, right? It's a farming simulator, and it's fun to play, right? Mr. Sealy brings up the point, as I keep on referring to him because I've been watching his videos mostly lately. You know, why do you play? Do you play to beat the game, you know, and what does beating the game mean to you, or do you play to enjoy yourself? I have found, and I think many others do as well, that this game is very relaxing. I have a fairly stressful work type career, and this is something that just helps me to tune out and relax and, you know, fantasize a little bit about what would it be like to run myself a farm sometime, you know. These tractors and land in real life cost so much money, it's an unrealistic goal, I would say. But it gives you a chance to kind of simulate in your head, step back and like, what would it be like, right? And so you can kind of imagine yourself running your little farm and have some fun, just relax. So I also have, you notice, the straw path enabled, so I can come over here with my baler real quick as well before I get done and sell this right back. So now it is, let's see, I believe this is the barley that I'm harvesting. So you can see I'm going to have a little shy of 8,000 liters of barley. As I said, it's a small field, not much, but you don't really have to worry about the investment because in my case I already had the equipment and the investment was 10 minutes of my time. So if I go up into here into barley and I take a look, oops, sorry, and I'm seeing that it's selling currently for $900, $962 is the best price right now, but there is another price going up. So let's just, for easy math, call it $1,000 per 1,000 liters. So I've just made just shy of $8,000 in a few minutes just on the barley harvest itself. And what I'm going to do is, just for the moment, go ahead and just drop this into my silo and bring my baler over and bale up that straw real quick. I don't know if any bad for a little field. So just help us with the math, right? We already talked about how I was going to get probably somewhere around $8,000 for the barley we harvested out of this field. Throw it back in transporting position here. Now I'll go ahead and demonstrate right now. So I spent that a little over $100,000 to buy this field. Now I'm going to hop back into the real estate or the map, go into real estate mode, field 28. I'm going to select it. Value $107,000. That's what I spent on it. Sell it. Bam. All that money right back in my pocket. Back up to around $150,000, which is what I had before. I got $8,000 in barley sitting in my silo. If I'm patient, I could try to wait for a high demand and maybe get, who knows, 50% more. So let's say $12,000 or something out of it. I'm not really sure. And we'll bring this right on up the road to the barn. Here we go. And we're not quite a full trailer. I think this is going to be probably something around $7,000. If memory serves me right, but let's find out. Pull right up onto the squares here over by the barn. Sorry. And unload. Oh, 8,605. Not bad. So for zero investment in property, zero investment in time spent planting and fertilizing and all of that, I bought a piece of property, I harvested the stuff, I effectively took about $16,000 worth of product out, and I sold it right back. Now, if you would have done that through the contracting system, I would have made something tiny, like a couple $1,000s, right? So it's a little bit of an exploit that they may very well close. I think